Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show, and we have Shweta Rajani who's answering our viewer queries live now for us. And I'm joined by our viewer Prateek from Hyderabad. Prateek, hi, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, so Prateek, I would want to understand what is that SIP amount that you're looking for that you'll be comfortable doing for like every month for 15 years?
So I already have some SIPs going on, but I'm looking. So I just took a home loan. I just searched that I can buy a SIP. So my loan is
What
50 lakhs. So I'm
what
looking for
is
5,000 SIP.
5,000 SIP? You want to do this every month. What is the current portfolio of mutual funds in which you are doing an SIP right now, and what is the amount?
Right now I have Quant.
Quant which
Then
fund? Quant which fund?
which fund? Don't know. I'm not
Okay,
sure. Large cap
okay.
fund.
And Quant and
ICICI Blue Chip, SBI Blue Chip.
ICICI Blue Chip, SBI Blue Chip.
Yeah.
And
And yeah, that's it.
what's the total amount of SIP every month that you're doing in these three funds?
10,000. 10,000.
3,000 each or
10,000.
15,000 you
No,
said?
no, no, different
10,000.
amount.
Okay, okay. Okay, that means 30,000.
Hmm.
Okay. You want to step it up, you want to do a 5,000 SIP more. All
Yes.
right. Shweta, what would you recommend?
Yes. Pratik, while I'll come to the schemes, you also mentioned that you have a home loan and you're paying an EMI, right? Just to give you some, hygiene factors that you should keep in your mind. If you have your EMI, it could so be that in early stages you end up paying a larger portion of your income as your EMI. But try and see you restrict that EMI to around 30 to 35% of your portfolio, and another 20-25% goes as your savings for that month in the form of SIPs. Try and have that target, and wherever you can, please do a 5 to 10% step up on the SIP. Now, see, you mentioned some of the schemes. I heard you saying Quant large cap fund is what you have. ICICI and SBI are also large cap oriented funds. So it's important that because you're talking about long term, you spread out your portfolio across large, mid, small categories. So some funds that you can consider, instead of ICICI Blue Chip, you can invest in ICICI Dividend Yield Fund, add a Kotak Emerging Fund, which is mid cap, have an HDFC small cap fund in your portfolio, and you can add one multi cap fund. Either go in for a Quant active fund, which is the multi cap category, or a Kotak multi cap fund in your portfolio, since you already have one Quant large cap scheme. So that's my recommendation to you.
All the best, Prateek. Let's move on, and I have with me Mr. Bireshwar. Hi, Bireshwar Datta from West Bengal. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for sending us your question. You're a student. What are you studying?
Hello.
Hi, Bireshwar. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What are you studying, Bireshwar?
Ma'am, I'm just preparing now for government jobs.
Okay. And you said that you want to start with an SIP of 10,000 in
Yes, ma'am.
Motilal Oswal. Yeah.
I have just started this SIP
Oh, you've
from
already started?
2 days early.
Okay.
I
Okay,
have
okay, okay.
already just started. Just
Got it,
started
got it, got
yesterday.
it.
So,
Got
madam,
it.
please listen me. I just
Okay.
want to know whether my stock selection, whether my SIP selections are
Sure,
beneficial for my to reach my goal or not. Because
sure.
now I will invest 10,000 per month, and whenever I got
Okay.
job, I am hoping that I will got job next year. I hope that then I will invest aggressively almost 50,000 per month with 10% SIP. And I am achieving to 2.5 crores in 12
Right.
in 12 years.
In 12 years. Got it.
So
Thank you
would
so
it
much
achievable
for...
or just okay, ma'am.
We will help you. We will help you with that, Vireshwar. Thank you so much for giving us the details. Shweta.
Yes. Bireshwar, first coming to your goal, see, whenever you start, assuming next year you're starting with a 50,000 SIP to get to your goal of 2.5 crores that you're talking about over 12 years, you will also have to step up your SIP by 10% every year, which means if next year you're starting from 50,000, you'll have to, in the year after, take it up to 55,000 and then, 60,500, so on and so forth. This will help you get to your target number of 2.5 crores, at a comfortable pace. Coming to the schemes that you have right now, where your SIP is going on, most of your schemes are good. You can continue with them. Just two schemes where I would suggest you to stop your SIP. One is the Quant Small Cap Fund. The second one is the Motilal Oswal Momentum Index Fund that you have. Okay. So within, you already have some small cap and multi-cap exposure, which is indirectly giving you a small cap exposure. So you can let go of Quant Small. And rather than being in an index fund, it's better you be in an active fund where fund managers doing all the timing and stock selection and sector selection for you. So instead of these two funds, what you can add to your portfolio, you can add an Invesco India focused fund, you can add an HDFC Flexi fund or an SBI large and mid cap fund. So the little large cap exposure is missing. That's what I'm suggesting you add.
Okay, let's move on. Yeah, Vireshwar, you're saying something?
Yes, ma'am. It's not Quant Small Cap Fund. It is actually Quant Flexi Cap Fund.
Oh, it is a flexi cap fund, Shweta.
Yes.
Yes,
Ma'am,
so-
it is a small cap, but not it is a flexi cap fund.
Got it. Got it.
Oh.
Shweta?
If you have just the flexi cap fund, continue with that. But I guess you had mentioned you have both flexi as well as small. Quant flexi cap, continue with that.
Flexi Cap, DSP
All
and
the
Bandhan
best.
Small Cap Fund.
Okay, I think Vireshwar, you will have to give us all the details once again because so far whatever details you've given us, Shweta has given you the recommendations accordingly. Let's move on, Shweta. Let's take Shruti's question. And she says that she's from Bangalore and she's been doing SIP in Baroda BNP Large and Mid Cap, Franklin India Equity Savings, Helios Flexi Cap and UTI Large and Mid Cap.
Shruti, see, I think in your portfolio, some of these schemes need changes. You have a equity savings fund in your portfolio. Now, equity savings is generally a combination of debt, arbitrage, and equity. It's not a pure equity fund. So if you're looking at long-term wealth creation and therefore you want an equity portfolio, this is not a category where you should invest. If you're looking at parking funds for, let's say, 1-2 years and you want a little bit of equity exposure, then equity savings is the category to go for. Okay. So the one fund, which is the Franklin Equity Savings, please stop your SIP there. The other fund is Helios Flexi Cap and the Baroda large and the large cap fund. You can stop your SIPs here. Instead, what you can add to your portfolio, I would suggest you go in for an HDFC Flexi Cap, Invesco India small cap, because you're talking about long term. Adding a little bit of small cap would bring a kicker to the portfolio. You can also add a Kotak Emerging Fund to your portfolio. So 3 exits and 3 entries is what I suggest.
All right, I think that will be all, Shweta. Thank you so much for taking time out and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio queries. And it's a wrap on the show as well. I'm going to leave our viewers with our WhatsApp number and email ID. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.